And I'm Kane the Shrub Watson.
Recording in progress.
Yes, this weekend.
Well, the highlight of the week so far. I mean, big match, Reggae Boys versus Argentina. In New Jersey, was it? I mean, I predicted a 3-1 victory for Argentina. I mean, our co-host some predicted, I think, 13-love, 14
13
some disrespectful score to that. But I see we had a credible loss, I would say, in the first outing under new coach. It's hard to pronounce his name. From Iceland. Hallgrimsson. So 3-1 victory, 3-0 loss.
3-0 loss.
To one of the best informed teams in the world and one of the World Cup favorites, number 3 ranked Argentina. See, this is probably the last international break before they pick the squads for World Cup. So everybody's fine-tuning and see a lot of international matches over the week. We're back to league action now. We see where teams started to play from yesterday. Couple matches going on right now, Barcelona. But hot topic of the week, Jamaica versus Argentina. I'm sure a lot of people who are tuning in now watch the match. We two here watch the match, our co-host. Yeah. He didn't see no 13-love, 14-love. I'm curious to have his take on, the result and the positives and the negatives. Yeah. And we have an interesting lineup for the show.
Yes, we'll be speaking with the great one, Alan Skillcole, former national football player for Jamaica, one of the first professional players from the 60s playing in Brazil. Also, we'll have former football player as well, Coach Carl Brown. He was a head coach that carried us to France in 1998, qualified the Reggae Boys to the World Cup along with the technical director, Rene Simon. So we'll be speaking with Carl Brown in about 30 minutes. And Alan Skillcole will join us in about the next 5 minutes or so. Yeah. But before Kane, everybody want to hear the view. Everybody have a different view on the match. Some people say it's good. Some people say, boy, we played a little bit better. Some say there's no change. Some say there's no adjustments. But I thought the last 15 minutes of the match against Argentina on Tuesday, I thought we showed a little signs of improvement.
Yeah, we had spurts where we played good football. At the beginning of the game, at the end of the first half, towards the end of the game. And for most of the game, the score was 1-0 until the goat came on. And the players look sort of starstruck. Some people are saying, why don't tackle Messi? Why don't tackle Messi? But he scored 2 decent goals.
In all fairness, though, I was saying, boy, it's like but I say the man drop on him from Nandi Low, Damian Low. Pick him up a couple times and come like him on brush off all his shirt. I've never seen this before, but I understand still. But I never want to tackle Messi hard because I want to see him at the World Cup. We don't want the injuries right now.
You have to pick up the Messiah, and if the Messiah jump in, you have to pick him up in a bud.
The invasion on the pitch, I've never seen that before.
I was watching the match with some of my colleagues, and some people were saying, well, they can't understand why people run onto the field. Some people understand, how comes, people running onto the field? But I'm just saying, depends on who you are and what you like. I would definitely want an autographed jersey with Messi. We probably used to Bolt. I go in the club and say Bolt. Just give him a nod. Yeah, but if Bolt goes somewhere else in the world, people be like, oh, so it depends. Starstruck. So, Messi is definitely one of the greatest
and
athletes.
Also, though, maybe because it was held in the States.
Yeah, they don't get much of it.
Messi is probably maybe the first or second time playing in America. A lot of the fans there, they're happy just to see one of those stars from Europe come across. So. Yeah.
And a lot of Jamaicans were in the stands as well.
Exactly.
But to break down the match, I think it's kind of early to give a full constructive criticism. I think more time is needed to get the coach in fully, players to understand his system, what he wants from the players, but yet still, we have to judge from the one match that we saw. Probably unfairly to give a full, breakdown of everything that went on, but to me, I think where we can start off and look at is the starting 11.
Yeah.
He's fielded one of probably the strongest starting 11 we can field. We have a lot of players to our disposal all across, in leagues in the world. But Andre Blake in goal, Mariapa, Ravel Morrison, Amari Bell, Damien Lowe, Daniel Johnson, Javane Brown, right back, Bobby Reed, Liam Bailey, Shamar Nicholson, and Mikel Antonio.
Yeah.
Started a 4-3-3 formation, somewhat attacking, although, I mean, we're playing against Argentina. We're kind of we're always going to be pegged back and sort of play defensively. And we're pretty decent defensive for most of the match, but see, we're in spurts of attacking football. But with this formation, I think he wants to play positive football.
Yeah.
And is looking in high spirits. I mean, in feel the best 11.
I thought it was more structured.
More structured, yeah.
They look more like they know what they're doing. They're in the right places, and I thought it was a more the structure of the whole thing was much better for me.
So I mean, he's aware of the players at his disposal, and I mean, Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, and Liam Bale up front is probably the three best players we can feel up front. With Ravel Morrison behind, I mean, I think that the areas we need to improve on is wing backs and in the midfield to get more creative play. Yeah. Ravel Morrison alone can't be
a second.
Yeah, because he seems to be lost in the games at times, but he definitely has quality. He's not one that demands the ball or comes deep for the ball. So we need somebody that, to me, in the midfield, can link up play between Ravel Morrison and the top three.
Yeah.
Liam Bailey, to me, sometimes is wasted out wide.
But,
and to play even two strikers, because Shamar Nicholson to me is more of a striker.
Yeah.
I think he needs to find a farmer to incorporate all these players. I mean, Mikel Antonio and Shamar Nicholson is kind of like for like, and to have two of them on the field at the same time, to me, kind of. So I don't know if they're in sync as yet, or it can work. Maybe you can find a system where it can work.
Shamar and Mikel.
Shamar Nicholson and Mikel Antonio.
They kind of play similar. Play the same way.
Yeah. More touches on the ball.
Not much movement on the
They're
outside.
More in the box, in and around the box.
Yeah.
You know, they can't really come for the ball. You don't want them to have too many touches in the deep. So it's kind of like for like, if you ask me. But quality-wise, those are the three best players up front. And I mean.
So I noticed that this young kid who showed some promise from early in the campaign. What's his name? Maggie, yeah. You think Maggie can work well in the middle with Ravel, being that the two of them is not really big tacklers of the football.
But then again, you have to have tacklers around him.
Yeah.
And who you want to put around him. Who do you have to put around him? And if you do have two creative midfielders, somebody have to
You need two defensive and two active in the...
somebody has to be sacrificed up front, whether it's Antonio or Nicholson.
Or
Liam Bailey.
Yeah, I don't think Mikel and Antonio should be on the field at the same time.
Mikel and Nicholson.
Yeah. I think we can sacrifice one of them for a creative midfielder. Yeah, I think that would work much better. You know, because definitely the problem is midfield.
Yeah, and we need another winger. If we have Liam Bailey on one side, we need another winger that is willing to work on the next side.
And create some mismatches and some it looking positive. But as you know, whenever a foreigner come here, but not all foreigners working, but this guy seems to have a certain presence about him. If you notice, even in the press conference and the way him carry himself and things. So I think a lot of sponsors will come on board with him. He has that energy around him.
Yeah,
you can see it. It's not like the other coaches that came here. You can see a difference with this guy. So the future is looking bright for reggae.
The feedback from the players is that, they're willing to buy into the system. And they see that this head coach has quality. And hopefully it all works out and going forward. I think our next match is going to be Cameroon in November. Okay. Just before the World Cup.
Yeah.
We have a friendly against Cameroon again. We will see. A better judgment of the match and a far lesser opponent. Because to me, you don't get much easier than Argentina. Yeah, especially with the best player in the world, or one of the best players of all time. Coming on the second half and scoring 2 goals. So, Mark, it was a credible performance. I give it a grade B. A B. Give it a B.
Run about that, plus or minus, it's right here.
I wouldn't say B plus or B minus, I give it a B. Yeah, but it was definitely not 14, love. Definitely not 14.
I'm curious to hear my producer views on it, You can come say a few words, because he said 13 and you got it all wrong.
I don't know if I'm saving it for sports commentary later.
For sports commentary, on sports commentary, we're going to hear the real news of what took place.
I don't know if he was there because, sometimes he's,
in and out,
in and out all over the world. Probably went to the match and was there live. Probably was one of the fans that ran onto the field, I can tell. But yeah.
Yeah. But
I'm curious to hear expertise.
Yeah, because we have a lot of football fans out there.
Yeah, and I'm sure the call is in later to give us feedback on their thoughts of the match and even probably the whole international break.
Yeah, so one of the things that I hope that this coach bring to, I want the coach to not only coach the footballers. I want him to help coaches too.
Yeah.
To try to bring up the level. I've been watching and listening a couple of the Manning Cup matches here, and it seems as if the football has improved somewhat this year in the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup as well. So, maybe it's the factor is all of the academies that we have around town now. We have more than ever before.
Yeah. So. Even so, I watch matches in and around. International break. I watch every sport, but mostly football. And I see where you have 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds playing for the international outfits. There's a German kid, 19-year-old, tearing up the German league. England have a host of youngsters, and they're talented youngsters, but just that they're an assistant and they can produce. And I think that we have youngsters out here that
can do the same thing.
Given the opportunity and have the right mindset and get the know-how and learn how to play that systematic football. And I see where we can have youngsters that are in the team.
Yeah.
So.
And I wanted to touch on, you talk about the youngsters them from England. I wanted to talk about Trent, but we'll save that for later.
Saka playing this morning. Yeah, I see Saka playing this morning for Arsenal, looking sublime. There's a young kid for Germany named Musala.
Yeah.
Scoring and assisting a 19-year-old at the top level.
Yeah. We'll get back to that topic though. Well, we're going to remain on the same topic. Here comes former national football and also the former head coach of the Reggae Boys, Mr. Carl Brown. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right. First of all, how are you doing, Mr. Brown?
I am good. I avoided the storm, which was great, because it really has done some serious destruction in the west side of Florida.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad for that.
Yeah, man. Have a give thanks. It's good to see you in good spirits and good to hear that all as well.
Yes. Well, I want to mention though, we heard about the passing of Zedi.
Yes, Christopher.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
It just bring back some memory. 40 years ago, he lost his dad, and I believe all of us who involved in the game remember how sad both himself and Jackie when we lost both of them.
Mr. Brown, I want you to. We have a lot of young viewers, but tell them about the father and the incident and everything. We want to hear about that.
Both himself and Jackie Bell went to Mexico in 1982 to watch the World Cup. France and Brazil. They were actually at the France-Brazil game, and that game went into extra time, which caused them to miss their flight. And therefore, they had to take a van to go back to where they were staying. And on the way, the van crashed, and we lost both coaches. It was a very, very sad day for the entire Jamaica, not just football people. Because these were two gentlemen who were really a part of society.
Giving back to the community, not just football.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard stories.
Jackie and Dennis were just two great human beings in their own right. Zedi, Dennis himself played for the national team, and was an outstanding player. Really outstanding player. And therefore we lost. We lost a lot when we lost both coaches in that. Then Nick Zedi and Christopher Zedi were just members of the Jamaica National Youth Program too, and they were actually at the National Stadium when they got the news. So we all took it hard, and I believe it probably made Chris a better person in terms of growing up, because of the loss of his dad, you know, and he was the eldest of the three boys, and he had to took up a man responsibility, and sometimes I get the feel that people probably see Christopher on a field and probably doesn't understand some of his behavior pattern there, you know, and he was very tough. He's a fighter. He fought for everything. He's on the field. You know, it's one of the few players that I can remember asking to come to Boys Town to play. You know, we played Santos one night. We beat them 3-0, and he was on the field, you know. And I remember saying to him, you need to come to Boys Town to play, you know. Boys Town, your style of game suit Boys Town more than Santos. You know, and eventually, through the influence of one of his great friend, Mr. Betty Walker, that he eventually came along with Andrew Price to join Boys Town. You know, so I got very close to him. He was just one of the toughest players around, you know, and we grew up hearing about uptowners and downtowners. Chris was seen as an uptowner coming to join Boys Town, but he fitted right into what Boys Town was all about.
Rough house.
He was rugged, and he was as tough as they come. Yeah, I remember he came back from school on holidays one. We were in the middle of the National Premier League, you know, and he turned up at training. We had a game against Wanderers over in St. Catch. I said, Coach, I'm not really in a good shape, you know. So you got to start. If you're going to play, you got to start. You get tired, I'll pull you out. And I remember him out there. He just got going, you know. And 70 minutes into the game, he just said, Coach, no more. But he had given it his all, you know. It was Christopher, and really it's so tough. When you get the news, you know, that Chris had died. We live pretty close here in Florida, you know, and I believe one of his personal wish was to keep away his sickness from most of his close friends, you know, and it was really those family and the really close ones that really knew that Chris was so badly sick, you know, and I respect it. I respect his wishes, but it's so difficult to understand it, you know, because it hurts to me a lot more just to hear one morning you get up and hear Christopher Zeddy's dead. You know, I remember last week's Sunday, I was on the field in the middle of a game. My phone rang. It was one of my former players. And I said to him, I need to call you back in the middle of play. He said, no, coach, you got to talk. I hear Chris is dead. You know, and it was so tough. You know, so I tell people that is not like a cricket game where you are batting order. You know, the openers and then number one down and two down. And three down. You know you are going next. That is so totally. There's no batting order. And you know, I believe all of us at some stage recognize that, you know, one day we are all going to move on. But I don't believe any of us is ever prepared for it, especially when, you know, it's someone that your coach is supposed to be much younger than you. Is, you know, he should be coming to my funeral and not the other way around, you know. So it was tough to go there. I saw his mom today, and I know it must have been so tough for her because, you know, of the loss of Dennis in '82, and then here comes Chris. But he has a little brother by the name of Craig Zady, probably youngest of the three. And, you know, I went across to Craig, you know, to offer condolences, you know, and he said, Coach, most of the boys are taking it much better than the ladies. And I said, Craig, even me, it is tough, so I can understand the lady. And he said, Coach, you know what? He is in a better place because he went through a lot of suffering. You know, that is, for me, a little consolation, you know, and if you can find consolation in that. So it was very, very tough. They had a service for him today. I believe they will have one next week too, and then a final one in Jamaica. I believe they plan on laying him by his dad there in Jamaica. So, you know, it's just one of those days that you just hope never happen.
Yes, condolences from the Primal team here.
To the Zedi family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, Mr. Brown, I know you're glued to your TV on Tuesday.
Yeah,
right? I know
we're
you're
watching
watching
Yes, yes, yes. You know,
the new reggae boys.
yes, yes. And it is something that I always do. You know, whenever they play, I have to watch them. And I want to see them win every time because they represent me.
Yeah.
Whoever steps out there represents me.
Yes.
And I want to have fun. I want to watch them. I wish every time that we play. But you know, for those who associate with the games, know that there's a W, there's a L, and there's a D that comes with the game. And
Of course. So what were your views? You know, you're a coach. So give us your views on the match, your opinions. Did we play good? You saw any improvement?
A year earlier, we give them a B mark. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. We're tough graders here.
I'd agree
I think
with
a
that.
B is fair.
Yes.
But I also want to reflect on the 13 love that we hear people talk about. Because people tend to always believe that we're going to lose heavily against these good teams.
I predicted a 3-1 victory for Argentina. I saw us getting on the score sheet, but
I'll tell you the thing about it. Usually the tougher the game, good players get tough too.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember we played Brazil in England, and it was similar. That people just expect us, you know, to just get out there and run. We eventually lost the game 1-0, and people felt that, we should have been playing more attacking game. It's like asking to go fight Joe Fraser and go stand toe-to-toe with him. You're going to lose. You know, so those of us who know better know that you got to plan properly to play an Argentina team, a Brazilian team, any good team. You plan properly to play them, and the first thing you do as a coach is to recognize your limitation.
Yeah.
You know, and to work with it. So the naysayers out there who have ways and means of how we can win championship never ever sit on the bench and hear the crowd in the stand shouting them yet. You know, so they are a little more relaxed than us as coaches. I really like what I saw from the team. And you know what? For me, it's not about new coaches. It's about players. I really don't care about coaches. I don't care about federation. For me, it's players. How comfortable are players? How happy are players? And when we get them out on the field in the right mood, we usually get good results. You know, So I've been that way ever since, as a player, as a captain, as a coach. I've always fight with coaches. I've always fight with administrators for my players because they are the most important piece in all of this. And I think that's one of the things that the federation needs to start understand. Until they put players at the top, we're going to continue to have players. Regardless of who we get to coach team, we're going to have players with them. This is a human thing. This is what football business is all about. Players are number one in it, you know. And I believe that's what I get the feeling that the players look a lot more comfortable. They look a lot happier, you know. So it's what it's going to take. It's anything. For me, it's not about judging what the coach do. I won't use this game to judge this coach. You know, it's for me, it's just sit and watch the mood of the players out there, and they usually send the message that you're looking for.
Yeah. So what do you think of the starting 11, the team that, first of all, the team that he put out there, to me, was probably one of the best 11s we can field. So, I mean, clearly he's aware of what he has at his disposal, and I think, to me, he started on the right note, fielding these players.
I'm not certain that this coach is going to feel happy about a starting 11. I mean, coming away from this game, he'll start to plus, add and minus and subtract. And you know, look, what is it that I need to make the team that I am looking for? You know, do I need to revolve? Who's going to help us? Because one of the things we have to think about is the World Cup qualifiers start in 2 years' time. Yeah. You know, it's not about beating Argentina today and beating Cameroon the next time we play. It's about thinking about preparing a team, getting a squad together for the next World Cup qualifiers. You know, and a lot of demand is going to come from these coaches, like all coaches, that the only way we mark coaches is if they win matches. Sadly, that's the truth.
Sad to say.
That's the truth.
Players
You
win
know?
and coaches lose.
Yes, you know,
yeah.
so I'm certain that he would have done that. He would have come away from this game and is in his head, you know, I need to add this, and this. I need to subtract this, and this. Because the truth is, there are players that are not going to be age-wise able to help us in the next World Cup.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know, and he has to start looking for them. He has to start look for players to replace these players immediately. That's that. He has no choice. You know, I hear that he'll be there in Jamaica from January station. I'm certain that one of the things that he'll be looking around, is there any replacement in Jamaica? You know, he got to identify them right now and start working at them.
Yeah,
you know, one of the things
that
one of the things that people talk about is the inexperience of our players back home. How are they going to get experience if we don't expose them? You know, so I'm certain that he will have to look the next year, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. That's one of the things that he has to do. He has to identify the good players that we have there and expose them as much as possible.
So, Coach, you know of any player that you'd like to see in this setup? Any youngster out there that you see with good potential?
It's difficult for me to say being away from it, you know.
Okay.
But I mean, the coaches who are there now, who are handling these players, he needs to get to these players, these coaches, and you know, from the different right across the island, you know, and get recommendations. I tell you something. Theodore Whitmore came into our national team, not because we went scouting for him, you know. We didn't go across the island to search for him. There's a guy by the name of Peter Lee. Peter is an ardent football person. Yeah. And I remember one Friday, Peter called me and he said, Coach, I have a little player down Montego, you need to take a look at him, you know. And I remember he said, Peter, you know how much I respect you. If you feel that this guy can help us, send him to the camp on Monday for me. That's how Theodore got invited to the national team, you know. It wasn't about us going to scout him. Yeah. I remember we were training at Water Commission ground. That first session that he went, the first ball he got, what he did with it stunned me. It really just stunned me. And I asked myself, where has this man been? Yeah. And if you look, you know, we can always point finger and coaches don't this, coaches don't do that. But do you realize that Theodore didn't play the Costa Cup football?
No, I didn't know that. I did know that.
You know,
yeah.
and we can blame the national coach.
Didn't play Manning Cup as well or something like that.
No, you know, so here we are, that youngster in Montego Bay with the sort of talent that Theodore has, and it's being kept a secret.
Yeah.
You know, so that is what has to happen now. We have to get players, people in Jamaica who are involved with these coaches. And I know sometimes it a man feel like, oh, it's your player, that's why you invite him. If it's even your player, don't be afraid to call the coach to take a look at him.
Yeah.
You know, because if he's good enough, and if he's not good enough, the coach is going to make that decision too. True. No coach wants player who can help him, regardless of who send him.
Yeah.
You know, so there has to be a responsibility placed on the people across the island who have the talents dealing with day by day. Yeah. I just said it in a recent forum that I was involved in, and I had a couple of coaches like Jackie Walters and Liebert Alleman on it, and I said to them, thank you, because I don't believe that we have thanked these coaches enough for what they did in the development of people who went on to represent the national team, you know. So there are coaches out there who are dealing with these schoolboys who have seen them much more often than the coach will ever see them. Yeah. You know, and they need to come forward and be brave enough to say, just take a look at it.
Yeah.
Just take a look. There might be a Theodore Whitmore that ends up in all of that.
Yeah. If you have the talent and you go out there, I mean, what coach, as you said, wouldn't want to be like, no, this kid can help us.
Of course. You know, people tell you that you don't pick John and you don't pick Tom because him come from there and him come from there. Any coaches do that is an idiot.
Yeah, it's not.
If
it's
you
not
see a
coach for
player
the
who
game.
can help you to win games and you don't select him because he's from John around the corner or up the road, you're not supposed to be the national coach.
Yes.
You know, so you're going to hear it. It's going to come from all corner. There's going to be cry. But I believe this coach, you know, that's one of the things that he has to do. He definitely has to have a local base squad that he's going to work with. Look at what we have. We talk about the qualification and why it happened. Yes, there was the Captain Burrell and the Rene Simoes and the Carl Brown and the different people who worked in it. But you know what was significant in all of that approach? We played 53 plus game every year for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Every year for 3.5 years. You're talking about building chemistry. Nothing does it better than that.
Yeah, play the matches. Yeah,
Play matches. Get players to know each other. And we go to every nook and cranny across the island to play. It might be a little more difficult now, so it's seeing that we have so many players overseas playing, but it should not be stopped. We should do that. And our local players, go get them to play against St. Kitts and Martinique and Antigua and Cayman Island. That's what international exposure it develop players. And don't matter who you play. Once it's not a local team you're playing, it's a different atmosphere. Yes. You know, people like, oh, these teams are good enough we don't play. That's not what you're looking for. It's for players to start understand each other, to start recognize voice when they hear it. And the more you call them, the more I talk to you, the more you know who I am. You don't have to look around. You know that it's Carl Brown talking.
Yeah,
yes, team chemistry, building chemistry and familiarity with each other.
It's not no rocket scientist about this chemistry thing here.
And the more you play, and you get to see the players more. You have more people breaking into the team, more people fighting for their spots, more people available for the positions that you're weak in. Because to me, I think we need stronger fullbacks going forward. And I mean,
let's go find
more football.
You just said something that we need stronger fullback. I'm certain that the coach would have made note of what he needs right now. Yeah. And I'm certain that that's one of the things that he wants. He has another game against Cameroon, and there are some people that will not see after Cameroon game, and I'm certain there'll be new people coming up after the Cameroon game. You know, that's what he needs to do. He brings a strong record with him. A lot of experience. He has been to the World Cup. It doesn't get any better than that. So, I'm really pretty confident that once we give him the sort of support that he needs, that's
bright things in the future, Coach, for the Reggae Boys.
All right, Coach. Before you leave, some 40 plus days before the World Cup, give us your top 2 pick for the World Cup.
Whoa! You know, I can tell you something. You know, I feel Argentina will win this World Cup. Believe you me.
Why?
I am not a South American team. Even though I love Brazil.
France, you know.
Huh?
You're a Frenchman.
No. I tell you, I'm an Englishman. I'm English and German. That's me. But I'm also realistic. I'm also realistic too.
Yeah.
I'd love for both of them, either one of them, to win the World Cup. But for the first time, I believe that Argentina will win this World Cup. If you look around at their players across the globe, they have been very, very outstanding. Whereas we see a leadership in an Argentina team in terms of the level of respect that we see that they have for Messi, I'm not getting the same feeling from a Neymar in Brazil. You know, so that's my reason to tip in that South American team. Because usually it's a Brazilian team for me if I go South America. But I like them. France is going to be tough too. You know, but you can't rule out the Germans. In spite of what you see them doing now, they're one of the team. The tougher the tournament get, the better they get. So don't rule them out. But I believe that's where I put my top 3 right now. Argentina, Brazil, and Germany.
Fair enough.
All right. Thanks again, Coach Carl Brown, for coming on Primal.
I'll probably talk to you again after the Cameroon match. Here, take and see how
things develop.
Once
I'm available, I'll be there, man.
All right, then. Thanks.
All right.
And
All right, guys.
Thank
take
you
care.
very much.
thank you very much.
No problem, bro.
All right, respect.
Yes.
All the time.
Former head coach of Jamaica there, Coach Carl
Brown,
Brown. Now it's time for sports commentary.
Well, I don't have as good a resume in coaching as Carl Brown, you know, but we're gonna have some disagreements because my favorites, Brazil, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have seen a change in Neymar in the last few months. This tour that Brazil started, prepare for World Cup, it's done Neymar a power of good as well as he's playing as PSG. The man is leading the tables now in scoring and he's playing like a captain. I noticed Neymar is playing back now, not so much trying to be the tip of the spear. And he's drawing players to himself and laying off that last pass to Brazil, who have a very competent line. Now, I know Carl Brown is the expert, you know, but I'm telling you, this Brazil team, we're gonna have to have a bet on that one because Brazil is playing sublime football. I saw them play Tunisia a couple of days ago, and it was 5-0. And then I started to watch the matches before Japan and South Korea, and Brazil is gelling at the right time into a unit, and I think that finally they're going to do it. It's years upon years we've been calling Brazil name, but I mean, who can resist a front line? Vinicius on the left, Anthony on the right, Neymar coming through the middle, sometime Richarlison coming through the middle. I like Anthony, I like the Rapina guy. Rapina is coming forward so aggressively. It's irresistible. This is what football should look like. I think it's like watching me play table tennis. It's so smooth. I can only think of, you have the Conlin with it, Janove Wilder, Kane Watson too.
Yeah.
Beautiful players. I would like to watch myself play, but I'm playing in order to see the beauty of the game. But I tell you, Brazil is going to do, they're going to win a lot of fans this year, and I hope they win the World Cup. It will be good for football. We're tired of seeing this mechanical football now, man. Want to see some samba or some soca or some reggae.
Yeah.
But guys, I have some news for you. CVM TV was held by a billionaire mogul, Mr. Michael Leachin. Most people think the rich Chinese man is me, you know, but it's not me. Mu Young is different from Leachin. Leachin is the rich one. Leachin is selling CVM to a company called Verticast. Why is that important? It's important because the guy who they say is a media mogul who's buying up all these TV stations, he is the same guy who has bought up the rights to the English Premier League. Now, Daddy Carl Brown don't know this, but we can't watch no English league in Jamaica because this Verticast company has not struck a deal with CVM or Lime. And so therefore, we're not seeing any English Premier League. Those people in Miami, they have a little hurricane going on. God bless them. But at least they get to watch the English Premier League. We're not getting to watch no Premier League. And CVM being bought now by the Verticast people tells me that it's possible we will be having English League in free-tier TV. So every deal among these giants, you know, they say when the elephants tussle, the grass gets trampled on. So when Mr. Leachin and Mr. Mogul from when they think, it's we the little people who can't get to watch little football. So I'm hoping that this new deal where they have sold CVM will bring us some football. And I will keep you guys up to date on it. So I watch a lot of TV, as you all know. And the other day I watched Lever Cup. And it's the last game of one of the greats of all time, Roger Federer last game. But I tell you now, I have lost a lot of respect for Mr. Federer. I've lost a lot of respect for Mr. What's his name? Rafael Nadal. Too much crying, man. They were crying, you know, a man done him career. Let's have a laugh, man, not cry. What we're crying about is lawn tennis. There's no crying in lawn tennis. No crying. There's no need for us to be crying because the man retired. The man says he's not going away. This is not a funeral. This is not like a baller. Unfortunate pass away and we're shedding tears. I can understand that. I'm a man. I'm a masculine man. But at the same time, what on earth are the greatest of all time crying about? What they're crying about? I don't get it. I don't get it. Who should be crying is the fans in New Zealand. New Zealand people had a big competition and Sunshine Girls. Mm-hmm. Sunshine Girls beat them, reach the finals of Commonwealth Games. Great thing. So the New Zealand people cut a deal. We're going to bring them come to New Zealand and we're going to have a big match to show who is the real Silver Ferns. The Silver Fern is not a joke thing, you know. Silver Ferns win the silver medal every time in the Commonwealth Games. So for us to beat them, Kane was there. For us to beat them was a big deal, and they signed a contract. Make reggae, make Sunshine Girls come to think that. No. The beer in the room, the big USA, say we're not granting no visa to no Sunshine Girls. And it's another tragedy, another travesty that we have to go address, you know. Why does the US have this power over us? Where we can't send a team to another location because you mean to say the world sporting bodies can't find some way to allow us to pass through the USA, man? My goodness me, the power of the visa is terrible, man. And I'm feeling it now. Because it was an embarrassment for our girls to go down there. I hear there's only 7 people suited up to play the netball match. A pregnant Ramelda Aiken had to just recently pregnant. She had a baby. Yeah, just recently pregnant. Big difference. Big difference.
Big difference.
Had to suit up to play the match, as well as Connie Francis. And Connie got to be 60 years old. Because when I was going primary school, I heard about Connie Francis. What is Connie Francis doing putting on Jamaica uniform and the coach tracksuit? But it's an embarrassment. We went out to New Zealand and the press are giving us a shellacking as a result. Not good, not good. Football is coming last, but I need to talk about my sport, table tennis. Table tennis World Championships is going on, and from our region, not Guyana, not Trinidad, and certainly not Jamaica, made the World Championship. Puerto Rico made the championship. I got to see what is the dream of every player. I got to see 3 Puerto Rican players who I could easily be playing against. You played against each one of those players, playing against the best in the world. We saw Fan Jindong play against Brian Alfanador. We saw Marlon play against Daniel Gonzalez. And we saw Wang Chuchin play against little kid. Naranjo. Angel Naranjo. Now, why this is interesting to me is that Chris Marsh, who was on the national team with me a few months ago, played against Naranjo. 4-time national champion. 3-time national champion. I saw Christopher Marsh play against Naranjo. And I have never seen... I saw Tyson beat up Berbick. But that was a beating Chris took from Naranjo. And we're not laughing. But to see the youth go up against the next level was good for me to see. I got to get through this fast.
Won a set though.
Yes, he won a set. Yes. I have to get through this fast. Football. 3 pitch invasions. Mr. Messi come on the thing. And I'm saying, is this a regular man? Is this a normal man? Can he turn water into wine? Can he heal the sick? Because I see man rushing onto the field every few minutes like he's a rock star to watch Messi play, to watch Messi on the field. Security had to be racing out to the field to protect the god of football, Messi. What a great man. But before I start, I'm going to go back on the Messi thing. But what is Bobby Reid doing on the Jamaica football team? What I want to have to go explain to me, you know. I want to have an agent like Bobby Reid. I don't know what Bobby Reid doing on the football team. I wouldn't ask Carl Brown that, you know. But what is Bobby Reid? Bobby Reid, apparently he plays for some English side. I see him from time to time. But what is Bobby Reid doing playing for Jamaica? England, what is Manchester United guy name who's playing for England, the defender? What's his name?
Maguire.
I asked the same question, just to be fair. What is Harry Maguire doing on the England team? He cost England the game last week. No, let me defend myself. I predicted 9-love for Jamaica. 13 for love, same thing. and if you will notice, for the 20 to 30 minutes Messi played, he scored 2 goals. With little or no, he scored them easy. He could have probably scored 4 goals. And at that rate of production, I think he might have been able to achieve the 13 goals against Jamaica. Let me, listen, Mr. Hallgrimson know a lot about football, you know. He's played against Argentina. I'm no authority. But I can tell you something. You're playing a match against Argentina. Messi comes on the field. One of you answer me. Where's the attack going to come from? Let me answer you. It's going to come from through the middle. Messi came through the middle 4 times uninterrupted without any adjustments from the coach. Mr. Hallgrimson, I think you did well, but you didn't get an A from me. He's getting a B because I think that Messi should have been paid some special attention. Even Ravel should be shadowing him, and I'm not the coach. Even Ravel should be shadowing, or we should be packing the middle a bit more. But we're not going to allow Messi to walk through the middle, man. So easy. And by the way, I love Messi, you know, but the Jamaica team seem to love him more because Mr. Damian Lowe was his bare teeth. I never knew Damian have so much teeth. I never knew Damian Lowe have so much teeth.
Yeah.
I saw the full 32 every time he saw Messi. And every time Messi fell to the ground, Mr. Lowe would help him up to his feet. Messi can get up himself, man. You don't have to be helping, man. I mean, what was going on? Is it a love affair or what? Even the goalie was smiling as he picked the ball out of the net. The goalie was going in the net and retrieving the ball. I said, Mr. Messi, please kick another one at me. Come on, Jamaica, we can do better than that. I saw the goalkeeper smiling. I have it on thing. Today I prepared a short talk on football because did you notice that when the match finished, everybody was trying to get that Messi shirt? I saw every Jamaican drawing up and coming like this to Messi trying to get the shirt. And I think that we didn't go into the match to win it, as Carl Brown said. It's a good experience. And the exchanging of shirts is obviously more important than thing there. I have 2 shirts for Brazil in my cupboard. I exchanged them with Thiago Monteiro. From Brazil national team, but he asked for the Jamaica shirt. The Jamaica shirt means something to him. The Brazil shirt means something to me, and we exchange shirts. One of the most famous exchange of shirts that ever occurred was when Pele and Bobby Moore in 1970 exchanged shirts. Big picture. It was all over the place. It was a sign of respect between the players. And after that, whenever you play people, you exchange shirts. There was a famous instance in which France played against Italy, and 2 players, Zanetti and Materazzi, were fighting for the jersey of Thierry Henry. Henry took off his jersey, and Materazzi said, "I taking the shirt." And the next, and Zanetti said no, and the 2 players were on field tugging over Thierry Henry's shirt. You know, they fight over my shirt as well whenever I play for Jamaica. But that's a different thing. When Diego Maradona scored the greatest goal, the goal against England, where he thing there. After the match, Maradona swapped shirts with another player, a player called Steve Hodges. And that shirt ended up in the British Museum. Hodges probably still being paid rent for that shirt. That was how famous that shirt swap was. The same Materazzi was playing against Zinedine Zidane, and he was marking Zinedine so close. And Zinedine said, "Come off a minute, boy." In French, of course. I can't say it in French. Push off the man 2 times. And then Zidane said to him, "If you want my shirt, I will give it to you after the match." So Materazzi responded, "I don't want your shirt, I want your sister." He was out of order. And Zidane bucked him. And that was how Zidane bought the player. Did you guys know that? It was over exchange of shirts.
It was
2006 World Cup.
But I have one more thing to tell you. The 2 greatest players active now, Ronaldo and Messi, have played each other about 18, 20 times. They have never once exchanged shirts. Messi has never asked another player for his shirt. He tells me that if a player asks him for a shirt, he will give the player if they ask for the shirt, but he has never think. It's one player Messi has ever swapped shirt with, asked for the shirt. And I leave it to you guys to tell me who you think that player is. You're wrong. You, sir.
Soon tell you. I know it, you know.
Let me see if you're the trouble.
I know it, you know.
The point is, Mr. Messi has only ever asked Zinedine Zidane for his shirt. Would you believe that?
Wow.
And now the question that everybody asking: who got the Messi shirt? I have a photographic. Leon Bailey got the Messi shirt. Leon Bailey got the Messi shirt. I don't know if he deserved the Messi shirt for that much, but he got the Messi shirt. That's sports commentary, guys. What's in you?
Oh, boy.
Gentlemen, take care.
All right. Take care, is that right? All right. Controversy, boss, but never short on controversy. I mean, do you remember the 4 lines are open? Feel free to call 1-876-552-7406. Feel free to call in and talk on any sporting topic. I mean, we have a host of topics you can talk and I don't even know where to start, where my co-producer left off.
That was interesting, though. That was very interesting. I must admit.
Yeah, a lot
of shirt swapping thing. Because that Messi shirt probably value a ton in the next 10
and even
years.
so, Maradona shirt, Hands of God shirt, was the most selling shirt ever before MJ's Michael James Jordan Game 1 1996 Bulls shirt. Just 10 million. Before it was 9.6, and it was Argentina's Diego Maradona Hands of God shirt sold for 9.6 million. Wow. So I mean, even onto something if you want to collect a shirt.
Yeah, you never can hold that shirt for the next 10, 15 years.
I mean, Messi shirt probably break that record later on. I mean, you can imagine Messi World Cup winning shirt, 2022 World Cup.
I think Messi will keep that one.
No,
his first title, first World Cup title.
No,
I think
somebody will get that at some point. Yeah, somebody will get that at some point in time.
Yeah.
Messi seems like the guy to just. But I mean,
touching on the World Cup, let's talk a little about the World Cup football coming up. You know, we have some 40 plus days left.
Yeah.
I hear Southgate, the coach of England, sounding confident this time around. You know,
you have to sound that way as a coach, but England ain't going anywhere.
Coming close in 2018,
England ain't going anywhere.
Saying that he's looking to go 2 steps further, which is winning the championship. What's your thoughts on England, Kane? Because I know you're not a big English fan, but
I think
not the previous match is not really impressive.
England is not really on a good run, not scoring much goals. I mean, suspect around the back. I'm not a big England fan.
Yeah,
anybody who knows me, I'm not big on England in pretty much any sport. I don't. I'm sad to say England are usually touted more than what they actually are, and I mean their chances of winning the World Cup to me are slim and next to zero.
Next to zero.
I mean they have world-class players on the field, but overall, form is form, and they're not going into the World Cup with good form.
Yeah.
And I don't see England giving any much trouble or making much noise at the World Cup. Really and truly, you can't really rule them out, but I see a host of teams playing better football for them. But we know in a tournament setting, it's all about a draw and who's in your group and who you play next. Because even I'm looking at my picks, everybody knows that I'm picking Argentina, France. I'm a dark horse. Is Denmark.
Yeah.
But if you look at the pairing of the groups, the winner of Argentina group plays the runner-up of the French group. France and Denmark are in the same group. So Argentina, provided that, all things being equal, qualifies for the next round, will play either France or Denmark. With all things being equal, they both qualify. Saying that, things going according to. So Argentina would play Denmark, which is a tough matchup. Argentina will play France. Denmark just beat France the last break 2-0. So Denmark has the quality to top the group. To me, France and Denmark will come through the group. Argentina will top their group with all things being equal. That's my prediction. So that round of 16 match is a mouth-watering match, and I think that's going to be tough.
Yes.
But my pick to win the World Cup is Argentina. So I have Argentina going all the way. But what if we have a round of 16 match, Argentina versus France?
Yeah, that's going to be a big match.
Big match. So, and England going through their group plays England makes it to the quarterfinal, and then, I mean, it's a tournament. Who goes through, and it's bracketing. If you have a favorable bracket, and then with wins, you develop momentum and confidence. You never can tell England can be in the mix. My co-producer said Brazil is playing. Especially up front, Gabriel Jesus is playing well for Arsenal. Can he even fit in the team? Richarlison playing good for Tottenham. Can he fit in the team? Rafinha for Barcelona. Well, we know Neymar will be on the pitch.
Yeah.
Neymar will be on the pitch. You have Anthony. Vinicius, Anthony. Yeah. You have a host of players that play in and around the same position. Who do you feel? But then again, he has quality backup because leading up to World Cup, you'll have injuries, you'll have fatigue, you'll have people burn out. So, but everybody wants to play, and I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that point, Kane. The World Cup being in November, and there's a lot of club football that's going to be played over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that might also impact. So maybe having a deeper team leading up might be much more beneficial.
Yeah, and if you look at the teams with a deep squad, Portugal is a deep squad.
Yes.
So you can't sleep on a Portugal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say England has a deep squad. Argentina, I don't think, has a deep squad. Yeah,
but Brazil and
Portugal has deep squads. Spain, Germany has a deep squad.
Yeah.
Spain just beat Portugal to qualify for the UEFA Nation League final round. So, I mean, the big names are still there.
So you think the teams, the national teams with what don't have that amount of replacement, you think they should hold back? Like rest the players a little bit more?
Rest? No, you got to make the money. You got to make the butter. And you have to play for your club. Yeah. So you go to your club and your clubs to play. They pay. These guys get paid, I wouldn't say handsomely. Because I think I'm handsome and I don't get paid that much. These guys get paid.
You don't think the owners and the presidents of the different associations can have a little behind a little backdoor meeting?
But then again,
in terms of the workload, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, but then again,
matches over the next 2-3 weeks.
There's pros and cons to it. Too much rest is not good as well.
The balance.
You have to play. And these guys are accustomed to playing week in, week out.
So
it's
how
their jobs.
disappointing would it be for two of the top players and just out of the World Cup? For example, Messi.
Oh, that would be in shambles. I would lose ratings. We cannot have that.
So normally the World Cup is held in the summer, right? Normally the World Cup is held in the summer.
Yeah.
How long of a break normally? It's like a fair amount of break.
But
usually the break
they're in training, they play matches. So these guys play football week in, week out. And it falls right in the time where they're accustomed to even playing. So it's probably even better for them. Because they're used to playing in November, playing for the leagues, and the leagues now will be on break. So it fits like right into them.
Break before.
And they don't have much matches under their belt for the season, so they're kind of still fresh. Because the season just start back 8 week match. So
I was a bit worried about it. So when I saw it, I saw
Pogba hasn't played a match all season.
Okay,
still injured, almost back now. Might risk him come back in time for the World Cup.
Might benefit some more than others.
And in this nature of sport, you'll have injuries. So to say, we don't want to see the top players because everybody wants to see the players play. We don't want any injuries to the stars, but on a whole, we don't want any injuries, but it will happen, and it's just the nature of the sport. And do remember, the phone lines are still open. We're expecting a call. Feel free to call in. 1-876-552-7406. We like to hear your take on the World Cup, take on the Reggae Boys, take on Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal crying. I mean, talk about table tennis world championships, anything. I mean, Morning Cup going on now. You tell me what's going on out there, what's on your mind. Hey.
Yeah, so that was interesting that Peter picked Brazil because, when I look at the lineup, I see 2 to 3 replacements for every position.
Every position, yeah. Deep squad.
So I'm wondering if it's too much. Sometimes too much is not good enough. But
and we see Brazil having their group Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the winner of Group G will play the runner-up of Group H. So we're looking forward to the next round, providing that Brazil wins the group. You know who's in Group H? Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, South Korea. What if Portugal comes second in the group?
All those teams are problem teams.
Uruguay
is not a
South Korea with Song Ming. I mean, but what if Portugal, because it's a tough group. What if Portugal comes second in the group? Brazil, Portugal, round of 16.
Yeah.
And then now to touch on the England point, England is in Group B. England will play United States, Iran, Wales. Wales is a sort of a derby match. To me, anything can really happen. USA not really on top form, but
I think England get a soup group.
Soup?
Yeah, that's
and
soup
then
group.
now they will play the run-up of Group A. So Group B plays the run-up of Group A, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And Group A has Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. So given all things being equal, England tops their group, Netherlands tops Group A. Who comes second in that group? For me, it's between Senegal and Ecuador. I say Senegal the edge. England should beat Senegal. England are into the quarterfinals now. And in that bracket, they would probably play a France or a Denmark, given that who tops that group and in the half. So, barring that Argentina even though come across. So it's still a toss-up. But
right, so
for me, England is a soup group, and who they play in the round of 16? England in the quarterfinals. And from there on, 8 teams left. Momentum. I mean, somebody find form. You never can tell, but hey, don't bet your money on England. You'll lose. No. So,
right,
with the top picks though, my top picks, Argentina, France, Denmark, they all clash. Sad to say they all clash. You will have a clash. Because France and Denmark, to me, will come out the group. Argentina will come out their group. And that round of 16 match, no matter who's playing who. Argentina will play either France or Denmark in the next round, and the winner comes from there.
Yeah, my dream final is Argentina, Brazil, you know. That's what I want to see for this World Cup final. That would be a match. That's my dream final.
And they're on the same bracket. If they top their groups, they're in the same half.
Also, one have to come second to split.
There you go.
Okay.
So even then, that's tough to have them both make it to the finals. So, I mean, but you know, you have the perennial powers, Germany, Spain.
Let's see. So the World Cup kick off on November the 20th, Qatar versus Ecuador/Chile. And you know, we have the Chile protesting Ecuador.
Still protesting, but they're not going to get through.
Yeah, so they have a court hearing, I think, next week. And then from there, both teams will protest again. So
probably the last protest.
Yeah,
no protest seemed to get through so far, but
Ecuador used an
illegible player
claim to be Colombian.
Yeah, a Colombian playing for Ecuador, but
yes,
Ecuadorians are saying that
Castillo,
he's a Ecuadorian and he has an Ecuadorian passport, so he's fit to play, and he did play.
Yes, and
while
Chile fighting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more than likely, they don't normally overturn these things.
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
They start selling tickets already to Ecuador fans and Ecuador. So.
And then who would get in?
Chile will get in.
I wouldn't mind putting Italy. No World Cup for Italy. That's my team. Sad to say, but I mean, controversial, but I say it would be good for football if Brazil win the Samba. Back in the mix, but for me, it'd be good for football if the Messiah wins. If Argentina wins, that would be good for football.
I agree with both. I think if
the greatest player just go off in the sunset, winning the World Cup, it's like a fairy tale, just waiting to happen. And I see Messi score today again, leading into form. I tell people him rest last year, and resting him turning up the chocolate a bit now. And trust me, that man going to do some damage. I mean, I'm sure everybody who plays Argentina will play to stop Messi. So the role players will have to come into play and produce. So if you see Messi not scoring goals in the second round, going further down deep in the tournament, because teams know that, hey, we have to stop this man, you know. So hopefully Angel Di Maria is not injured. He's injured now for his club Juventus.
No, you know, Di Maria is
to me he's an X factor.
Yeah, but he's an X
he's
factor.
Brittle.
But very brittle.
But
when
he has
you
quality.
When you need him the most,
he's injured.
Yes.
But I'm sure it pains him to be on the bench injured.
Of course.
I mean, if Di Maria stays fit,
because he was unfit the last World Cup finals. You know?
Yeah. If Di Maria was in that finals, to me it would have been a different match.
Yeah, because they can't double up on Messi and leave Di Maria free.
And he was younger, fitter, quicker.
Yeah.
Still has some quality left and he has experience. Di Maria is an X.
He had about 3 players around Messi every time he touched the ball. You know?
Yeah. I hear people say, "Oh, don't do anything in the second round." If he demands so much attention, you take Messi out of Argentina team.
Yeah, no chance.
You think they'll make it to that World Cup finals? Even though he didn't give you the goals and assists. What he gives you on the field, just his mere presence.
Yeah.
He attracts 3 players right away. So that frees up other players in Argentina.
Of course.
Benefited from that and went deep into the World Cup.
It attracts 3 players and then it draws another 2 or 3 attention.
You have to watch that little man.
Slip, of course. Yeah, man, he is the X factor. Without him, you wouldn't have an Argentina squad.
But Argentina has some quality footballers. Dybala, Lautaro Martinez up front, Di Maria, as we said, and Argentina is an unbeaten streak.
Is Dybala injured?
No, he scored today for Roma. He's not injured. No, he didn't. I didn't think he traveled with the team. I don't know if they're going to pick him, but he has definitely quality and. To me, he should fit into that team. I mean, as I said, they have Lautaro Martinez up front. Alvarez that plays for Man City.
Yeah.
Scored a goal against Jamaica also there. I said Di Maria with the experience. They have a solid backline. Romero, Lisandro Martinez. For the Man U fans that seem to be, Man U is back. I mean,
I think Man U is back too.
Yeah.
I think Man U is back.
I think Man U
following a little bit.
I think
Yeah, man, I think so.
Man U is going to get 4-1 tomorrow from Man City.
4-1 from Man City.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
that's a good match to watch, That match tomorrow, it's going to tell us a lot. Man City, top of them farm, Manchester.
But even so, when Man City top on the farm and Man U is struggling, Man U always seem to get good results against Man City. Even though Man City ran away the title.
Can we have some predictions?
Remember, it's them rule the City.
You think you think City will win 4-1?
4-1.
And you think, of course, that what's his name again? My ball.
Haaland
will score 3 of those 4.
2.
More than likely.
2, a double.
Yeah. So, and you are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Not really.
I think that Man City is the goods, and they're going to destroy Manchester United.
I remember, Man U is the king of the city,
Not again.
6 years?
About 10 years. About 10 years.
Tradition.
Yeah.
But back to the Argentina thing. I must tell you something,
Here comes a Man U fan. That's what he was waiting on to call as well. I'm going to pretend like I don't know who it is. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. To whom I'm speaking with. Afternoon, Mr. Madden.
Yeah, man.
To what do we owe this pleasure?
I was here listening and listening to the World Cup talk and the Argentina predictions. I was just listening peacefully, But then I heard a certain analyst stating that Man U going to get 4-1 from Manchester.
not just any analyst, the Schwab. Yeah, not just any analyst, the Schwab. Yeah.
No. I don't know. That's 4-1.
Hold on. All right. Give us your prediction then. Don't give me a 2-2 draw. Don't give me a 2-2 draw because you're clutching at straws. Man U is your team. So give us a... Oh, geez.
Oh, good. We have an opposite view.
There's a location called Just Bet and AnyBet.
What's the odds on that? What's the odds?
The odds for Man U winning 2-1 could be pretty high. You can become a Michael Eachin if you play some heavy money on that 2-1 bet, I'm just saying. But that's a bold prediction. And I mean, hey, the ball is round and Man U is playing good football again, according to Man U fans. I say they're definitely improving, but I think Man City is a well-oiled machine, and I think Pep Guardiola will try to make a statement in this game.
Tomorrow is going to be a very...
I think it's a statement game.
Yes.
And he wants to drive fear into anybody who that Man City is a real deal. So I think Pep is tuning up for that match, and he's a tactician.
That's the match I'm watching tomorrow. That's an important match to watch.
I mean, we can't watch it on TV, but we have our means.
I have my means.
We all know our means, but Verticast...
Yes.
Have to come with the good so we can watch.
The new CVM will show some EPL.
And even so, touching on that point, that means World Cup on CVM.
It could possibly mean that.
World Cup on TV.
It means we might get to watch some football.
But yes, Mr. Madden, go right ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm saying everybody know Man United is my side.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I thought it's a fear for that guy called Haaland. But since he jumped into the English league, I must say, quality piece of water. Even I have to admit it. But I still think we're going to pull off a 2-1 tomorrow.
2-1.
Interesting. We watch out for that.
So I mean, so next week when you call in, you can be like Schwab.
Yeah, I think Argentina is suddenly everybody's calling Argentina. I call the Brazil name, by the way. We are 2-1 here at Primal because I have been watching Brazil, and I started to watch the older Brazil games for the last several months, and I saw where they're gelling. They're getting better, and they're playing real quality ball. And Neymar, as goes Neymar, goes the team. Neymar is playing some sublime football, some superior football, and he's playing so well now. And even though people complain about him being fouled and on the ground all the time, he's drawing these fouls. He's drawing the fouls because it's hard. When you play against someone who is so much faster than you make mistakes. You play against me, Paulton. You have played against me on the table tennis board. You make a lot of mistakes. You're playing against somebody who is quicker than you are.
I really do believe Argentina is the favorite for the World Cup this year.
On paper, it's Brazil.
Predictions are
Yeah.
Brazil is the favorite on paper.
Argentina is the favorite.
No, Brazil is the
I
favorite
think
on paper.
most pundits, most experts,
Yeah.
most of the experts are now saying Brazil, including
For the
myself.
past couple of months, Brazil is
All the
probably
top
a
experts saying Brazil.
odds-on favorite.
Okay.
Then it was England, but England dropped off.
It would be interesting to see Argentina win, to be honest. Or more accurately, to see Messi win. I don't know this is all about the legacy at this point.
A great baller though, a great baller.
Best thing ever touch of football. Yeah.
What a baller, he?
It would be very interesting.
Yeah.
It would be a tremendous way to go.
Yeah, but give us your prediction on the World Cup. Give us your winner.
My prediction?
Our top two.
Yeah, who you think will win?
Your favorites.
All right, well,
A Man U fan ready to support Portugal.
we'll be down to Brazil, Argentina.
Okay, so you should be.
The notable mentions, believe it or not, I think we can actually look out for England this year.
Really?
Look out for them doing what exactly?
England. What?
Look out for England to create some waves this year.
Listen,
Waves.
Porter, let me tell you something. The world media is dominated. Yeah, the media is dominated by England, you know. And the media, Fleet Street, what them call it? Well,
I think them have some young potential.
England?
Yeah, man.
I like this guy, Saka. I saw.
Yeah, man.
Make some waves this
I
year.
And I
saw.
was about to ask Kane about Trent
Yes.
Alexander as
Yes.
well.
Not playing good football now.
Saka?
No, I'm Trent.
Oh, okay.
The young still has their lovely young squad there. That's all yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not.
All perennial failures. All perennial failures. They ain't going anywhere. Not Belgium, England.
Down to Argentina and Brazil.
No.
And the world knows that Portugal is my side, so I'll be cheering for Portugal.
No,
France.
that's an outlier. I don't see Portugal even making it past the early stages.
France. Be careful of France.
I think France is a threat.
France is always there.
No, but this time the French team is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benzema and the Africans.
So
Benzema is not to play.
don't set your eyes on the usual perennial failures. They'll
yeah.
I don't
But-
think Benzema is playing. No, he's
can
retired.
no, him back out
What
of
are you talking
retirement.
about?
Him out of-
Benzema is not
yeah,
playing the World Cup?
he's out of retirement.
Clubs are prepared for what is coming their way, and it runs smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of disruption, especially around gameplay and all of that. But
Yeah.
it should be a really fun World Cup to watch this year.
As always.
If we get to see it, Paulton.
It'd be a travesty if we don't get to see it.
No, I'm 95% sure we'll be fine. for the World Cup.
99. I mean, if we don't get to watch World Cup, I think the crime rate will go up. The people need something to do. You know what I mean, the world stops World Cup. Yeah, so it's sports brings us together. You know, it's amazing how you see warring factions just put aside things because of sporting events and all of that. So on a small scale to even a larger scale, sports and this gets no bigger than the World Cup. Whether we're track and field fans or we're good in track and field, World Cup the world stops. So
The greatest show on earth. All right.
Great show. Keep it primal.
Yeah, man.
Primal is vital.
All right, thank you, Paulton.
Big up.
That fella is Griezmann, his name?
Anton Griezmann.
Yeah, how him playing now?
He's under a contract where he can only play a certain amount of time. If he plays over 60 minutes, I think, for a certain amount of matches, Atletico Madrid would have to pay Barcelona a hefty sum of money. So
He's on loan.
yeah, so the loan will turn permanent after this year. They'll probably take him back full time. But if he plays this year a certain amount of minutes,
Yes.
they have to give Barcelona too much money, so they don't play much.
Okay. So
But
guys,
both clubs are coming to agreement where they're trying to fix that soon, so he can play more.
I have the national table tennis coach here, and as you know, the World Championship is going on in Chengdu.
To one world.
Yeah, from one world. The World Championship is in
Table
Chengdu.
tennis.
So who you have for the silver medal? Because we all know China going to win the gold medal, and we're not talking women's TT, we're talking men's TT.
Women. Oh,
We're talking men's table tennis. The women TT is even more a locked thing. Fait accompli, them call it. So who you have for the
I'll go the usual. I'll go Germany.
Germany?
Yeah.
You're aware that Timo Boll not playing and Dima not playing, Avtrov not playing.
Well, it's Sweden.
They're not playing. The German team is a young team. Only Dang Schude on the team, and some other names that you don't know. Not even Francisca on the team.
Yeah.
I still...
LeBron on the team?
Who?
LeBron, the brother.
For France.
France, they're on the team?
Yeah, the two LeBrons are on the French
and
team.
Kwai-Dang?
But think they're not playing. The French team, what's his name? What's the name of the French?
Gauzy.
Gauzy, not playing on the French team either. And the Taiwan team, Lin is not playing either.
Peter, where you going?
Lin have COVID.
Where you going to dig up all of these?
Well, you know, I have a lot of inside sources.
You know,
I maintain a link.
That's the point I was going to get at. You know. What the hell is table tennis doing? The sport is not being marketed.
It is being marketed. I'll tell you something.
To whom?
What they're doing now, they're
to
following.
Peter.
I think they're following the pay-per-view mode of training the sport.
So how the sport can get?
No, let me tell you what they're doing in table tennis. Table tennis, somebody's making money. I don't know who.
Yeah.
But the World Table Tennis, the ITTF, as a company. Oh, hold on.
Did you know that all these players out came?
I didn't know.
Peter, where you
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
I still taking Germany though. Yeah, what's up?
Yes, indeed.
One Prime. And it's not Optimus Prime. Yeah, we can hear from where you are. What's your sporting topic for the day?
Peter.
Yes. Go ahead. Of course.
Speak a bit louder for me, please.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
man.
loud and clear. Yeah.
So remember the World Fiasco Formula 1 last year.
Yes, man. The setup victory.
Yeah, for Verstappen.
So we have a little, there's maybe something that's stuck right up right now.
Yes.
In terms of some budget cap reaches. Red Bull said that they didn't. Others said that Red Bull is a part of it. Two teams actually broke the budget cap.
This is the budget for the car or the budget for the entire program?
Yeah, for the year of 2021. Two teams broke that cap. Aston Martin, I think, is one. And
Yeah.
the next one is touted as being Red Bull. Red Bull is saying that, hey, it's not us. Mercedes and Ferrari saying, well, it's an open secret with a padlock.
Yeah.
So it may come down to if they are the team with the major reach of that cap, the driver may be banned, or points may be deducted, fines may be.
Hold up. Points deducted from last year's or this year.
Must be this year.
That same championship year.
No, but
That would give Lewis Hamilton the victory then.
The overall for that season,
Alright.
2021 season.
You see the way you put it a while ago, the way you word it. I think this is not going anywhere. I think this is probably something that every team behind the door.
The follow it up, and if they are in breach, it all depends on what penalty they laid out.
Okay.
I don't think I would like any post X Factor award of a championship to somebody, and I don't think any real champion. I don't think any real champion would be happy with it. I saw is for example, is like the 100 meters run, and we take the money away from Ben Johnson, and we give it to Carl Lewis, and then we take it from Carl and we give it to whoever came third. I don't think that's good for sport. The thing gone, it gone.
They never address it at the same time.
Yeah, if it wasn't addressed within a couple of weeks, no the thing.
Why they still fighting it though?
Yeah, it's still going on, so I just need to know that result to see what will happen.
I think the results will be the same.
Listen, Verstappen is a champion, and I think he did well, and the sport loves him. He's a young guy, and he's been leading the whole season. I haven't checked the standings the last couple of weeks, but he's been leading. He's been winning everything. So he's a deserved champion, in my opinion.
Not deserved, not.
He's a champion.
Maybe for this year, but not last year.
He's driving like a champ.
Yeah.
He's driving like a champ.
He's a Netflix champion. He's all for TV.
He's driving like a champ this year.
No, he's good. He's a good driver. He's a good driver, but not deserving of it last year.
No, but he's driving like a champ now.
This year,
you get the crown.
Yeah.
You get the crown.
And him running
you're the man now.
Momentum. Yeah.
He is the man right now.
All right, Oni, what else you have there?
For the World Cup, everybody knows Brazil for me.
Thank you, sir.
Why is it Brazil for you? Why is it Brazil for you?
Yeah. Brazil for me. It's Brazil for me.
Asking you why? Why do you say Brazil?
Midfield. We have Paqueta, we have Fred, and we have Casemiro.
Yeah. Fred. Like Fred Flintstone Fred? Manu Fred?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Fred. I think Fred is very static.
Well, he's also a Manu fan, so I don't know if
I get you. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Fred? Oh. You watch Flintstones? I think you stood a better chance with Fred Flintstone.
I am not a fan.
I know you're not a fan of Fred.
I'm a little bit concerned over that midfield. I think most of the teams there, I'm concerned over Argentina's attack without Messi. Everybody said Messi, but when you remove that Messi factor,
why would you want to remove that factor? That factor is...
I think he has a big influence on the Argentina team. I don't think the team is effective without him.
He's the team.
Yes.
France, their midfield is very strong.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
And their forward line?
They are also strong, but defensively, they are also suspect.
Well, Benzema is playing. What do you mean the forward line? That's the forward line.
Mbappe.
Benzema and Mbappe. That's a serious team.
Yeah, Griezmann. Giroud off the bench. Yep.
Griezmann, Giroud, Benzema.
You name it.
France is a dangerous team, man.
Yeah, it's a big team on paper. They've always been a big team on paper.
Dangerous.
Dangerous team.
Have some fast cars on France team. Tell you. You're talking about Verstappen to keep up with those.
You guys come in, touching me and
Yeah.
what's the other one again? Who's the other?
Kamavinga, Tuchemeni,
Yeah, I did with Kante.
Kante, Pogba, Rabiot.
And if Pogba is fit and able, that midfield is very, very strong, especially Central.
Yeah. They have a decent backline too as well.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes when the paper thing don't work out, you know, and it might look good on paper, but you know, if you even make a comparison between Messi and MJ, if you remove MJ from that Bulls team, they're not going anywhere. They're not winning any titles. So sometimes. Sometimes it's just that one man that holds everything together. Not necessarily that everybody.
And it's not just one man.
I agree.
I know, but each one playing them role.
Yeah.
But
that
when you
man,
have too much star and too much good player,
you're gonna have problems. That it factor. You have
Brazil always had that problem, you know.
No.
Too many stars.
Brazil had a weak lineup last World Cup.
Last World Cup, I mean, generally, Brazil always have that wing back, Cafu, you have this man, you have that man, them always have it.
And the reason for that is that they are the best footballers on the planet.
Yes, but they don't play, they don't win the title together though.
Sorry, Carla, say that again.
Sorry about that. Like
That Jamaica game?
Yes.
Not going to beat them, it was Argentina. I think I like the fact that they were trying to keep the ball. First half, I catch most of the first half. And they were trying to knock the ball and keep possession of the ball, but they weren't really driving forward. But I like the fact that they wanted to keep possession of the ball, trying to starve Argentina from that ball, and that looks good because Jamaica don't normally do that.
You know, Peter shaking his head already, right?
Yeah, I'm shaking my head because it's clear you never saw the start of the game. In the first 30 minutes, I think we probably had, okay, I'm just explaining to you. In the first 30 minutes, I swear, Argentina had 95% possession. Jamaica had 5% possession. I counted no more than 3 touches continuous by any Jamaican. 1, 2, 3 ball loss. Argentina would put 25 passes together. And after a while, they realized that the Jamaicans weren't even coming at them. 11 Jamaicans behind the ball in one half. What kind of plan that? Not 10, 11. Jamaicans.
Not to concede goals, Peter. That's a plan.
And furthermore, we have a call online, but furthermore, let me say this. Mr. Hallgrimson, when they asked him what he thought of the match, I thought it was a bit disingenuous for him to say, oh, we had control up to, we played well up to 80 minutes.
Defensively.
I don't think we did that. Argentina had the ball and were looking at us and said, boy, we're ready to go at these guys. Remember, you can't score unless you have the ball, Argentina had the ball all the time. I saw 2 Jamaicans make some good rallies, some good forays into the thing. I don't know their names. New players running with the ball at them. But the Jamaicans tend not to understand when you run with the ball. You got to pass the ball. They run with the ball until they lose the ball. All the time.
Yeah. I think we were missing the junior Fleming factor. I don't know why he wasn't picked to
Who?
Junior Fleming, I don't know him.
Oh, come on.
Who is
man.
he?
O'Neal, come on.
Hold on.
Junior who?
I'm gonna say this. Seniors, hold on. Seniors, it was Primal Sports. It was Primal Sports, that called for Ravel to be put in the team,
Yeah.
We led. See if you remember, Kane.
Yes.
We were calling for Ravel long
tape.
before, and then Ravel suddenly came in the team. So let me call for another baller now. I think Magee need a chance to come back in on the side. Yeah. I really thought that Magee was looking to be a good offensive midfielder, right? And Ravel need that. Ravel needs somebody to pass the ball to. He doesn't have anyone to pass the ball to.
We need people who can tackle as well.
I see after a while we start playing the big long kick, like we're Barbados or Grenada. Is that what we're going to know? The big
up the Belgian
to get the ball to Antonio, the big long kick, is that the solution?
All right.
Antonio, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Remember kick and run football? The first time I see Barbados come to Jamaica. What they do, they kick the ball, you bypass everything, all the way to the front. And Antonio can play that kind of ball, And if it's that we're going to do, let's do that. Let's play the big kick and run and stop fooling ourselves.
Because and Mikel up there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but the fact
two physical presence.
We put two final strikers in the match, We put two strikers, and we didn't have a real midfielder who was working the ball, come up and passing through. I didn't see any kind of that passing.
No.
So what's the solution? We have, what's his name? What do you name? Bailey. Well, I don't see Bailey making any kind of passing at all, Bailey gets the ball, tries to run, lose the ball after beating one, maybe two. If you listen to the commentator, I saw something very interesting. And use your memory.
You've been done on Bailey.
Every time the ball, I know. I'm going to free up Bailey in a minute. Every time the ball goes to a Jamaican, the commentator says, and the ball goes to Leon Bailey, twisting and turning, and he loses the ball. That's what twisting and turning. That phrase is used every time Jamaica. Why are we doing so much twisting and turning? Yeah. Twisting and turning. In football, when I was learning the game, you looked for the next pass before you get the ball, and then you knew who was around you. And if the man on the right hand side get the ball, somebody start run down that side to get the ball, so that you always have the option of left or right.
I agree. That's how you should play. You should think before the pass. But no,
don't see that. When Leon gets the ball,
and the pitch is out here, you can't do that.
I true that, but Leon is playing in England. Leon playing in England. Yeah. You check my post. I've been calling for Aston Villa play for. I've been calling
for. Asking for him to get
I've been calling for them to free up the ball, because I know that given a chance, we want to see him perform at his best. But I haven't seen it for Jamaica.
By the way, Bobby Reid scored today for Fulham.
So I know he's sure. I'm not a Bobby Reid fan. Harry Maguire and Bobby Reid got to be the two most inept ballers in all of football.
Bobby Reid not that bad.
Yeah, man, him bad man.
No, I mean to class with Harry Maguire.
What has he done for Jamaica?
No, I'm just saying, put him in the same class as Harry Maguire.
Tell me something. What's Bobby Reid done in the Jamaican setup?
What has Leon Bailey done in the Jamaican setup?
Leon Bailey took the game and he had 2 or 3 good matches.
You don't think he's overrated slightly?
Yes, he's slightly overrated, but he has the potential to be a great baller.
A what?
You saw the goal he scored for Aston Villa, the first goal? Did you see the first goal of the season?
I saw a Hector Wright goal in the stadium as well.
I saw that. But the Leon Bailey goal is a good goal. You saw
Of course, it's a big goal.
And by the way, he scored some good goals in Germany.
Of course, he's a good baller. He's a decent baller.
If you give
Bobby Reid has scored some good goals in his career too as well. I'm telling you, check Bobby Reid highlights.
I haven't seen that.
Bobby Reid have some highlights.
How did he make a Jamaica team? That's the mystery. That's the mystery.
We have a lot of players we can choose from. I mean, Algrenson has a deep squad too.
I did not. You don't hear me complaining.
Carl Bronson?
Yes.
We
listen to the people.
Sometimes a man will have a little man.
Yeah, and big up Peter Lee. You heard the respect that he gave to Peter Lee. Peter Lee was on the show a couple months ago. Peter Lee know the ground of football and knows here. But if we're not using Jamaicans to play for Jamaica team, we won't get that feed from.
And I touch on the point that all of these international teams have young players breaking into the system. 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
We need
because if it's 2022 is the goal.
We are our 19-year-olds.
We are our 19-year-olds. If 2024,
we are 17-years-olds.
We are
2 years from now with maturity, with experience on a little bit. You can't throw them into the fire when they are.
But Magee just come out of JC. right?
And he should be in the setup.
He should be in the setup. We use, how much ballers we use? About
Lamar Walker.
Yeah, Lamar Walker.
About
them guys.
60 footballers we use in the last campaign, you know, in this campaign. 60 ballers.
Ravel would be about 33.
Yeah, I think it's 29 now.
Ravel pass it now, man. I mean,
But at 31, I think Ravel can
He can
produce.
still help, man. He can still help. But I'm saying we need a younger setup
as a midfielder.
Yeah, man. 31 a prime
You know, I
years,
can
man.
understand a man like a Franco Baresi or a goalkeeper like Peter Shilton playing into the upper.
No, but
30s.
even so, no, 31. 31 prime years that.
Yeah.
Prime years that.
It's very few athletes can perform after 30, you know.
Yeah, but 31 prime years.
And 40.
Nutrition.
Yeah,
prime years.
I've told Dale, I was telling Dale today, it takes a special athlete to play late in their career. You know?
Yeah.
Special, gifted athlete.
Yeah.
I'm not referring to myself.
I figure more than
One last call. We have 1 minute, you know.
We have 1 minute. Good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Have
to wrap up the show, and I mean,
yes, we're actually out of time. Well, guys, great show today.
I mean,
thanks to Carl Brown for coming on, former head coach of Jamaica. No, he's coach of Cayman Islands.
I don't know that. I don't know. He's in Miami. He's in Florida coaching.
Some coaching over there. Thanks for coming on.
Yes.
We should have Alan Skill Cole maybe next week.
Next week we'll try and get back Skill Cole.
But T20 World Cup is about to start, and we will have Franklin Rose,
and we never
former West Indies cricketer,
on
next week.
And we never congratulated the Talawas for winning the
CPL
yesterday.
Brandon King playing some excellent cricket. I saw him play for West Indies the other day, and I thought he showed the class of the West Indies.
Yeah, so next week should be a good show, because you know Franklin Rose have a story to tell.
Yes,
every week is a good show, but I mean we bring elite athletes on, not only athletes, coaches. I mean, people in and around the sport, and as I said, nice to have Carl Brown today. Next week, another nice show.
Who's up next?
DJ Ilabash.
Ilabash.
I think so.
All right.
Big up, one love from the Primal team.
Next week, same time, same place.